Mental stress can define when our body responds to pressure. Many different situations or events in life can result in mental stress or stress itself. It is frequently triggered when we encounter something new, unexpected, or threatening to our sense of self, or when we believe we have little control over a situation. We all react differently to stress. Our ability to cope can be influenced by genetics, early life experiences, personality, social, and economic circumstances. Once the stressful event is over, our stress hormone usually return to normal and there is no longer term effect. However, excessive stress can have negative consequences. It can keep us in a constant state of fear and anxiety, leaving us exhausted or unable to cope. This can have a long-term impact on our physical and mental health and give harm to ourselves, especially as a university student.
Assalamualaikum. Hi, my name is Nur Shaira. First of all, I will explain our research title and objective. The research title for our final project is Teenager Perspective Towards Mental Stress Among Malaysian University Students. Next, our objective as proposed, it will be divided into two, which are general objective and specific objective. For general objective, this survey examines the general public, especially teenager perspective on mental stress among Malaysian university students, and we are concerned regarding the mental stress of Malaysian students. Second is specific objective, which is our aim is to explore the frequency of depression, anxiety, and stress among Malaysian university students towards seeking help from mental health professionals such as counselor, hotline service, or their doctor. Furthermore, this survey also to make people learn more about specific mental stress problems. Next, I will continue by explaining the problem statement. As we know, the most common mental stress condition among university students today are because of anxiety and depression. According to our research conduct, among university students in Malaysia, it was found almost 30% of the students experience some level of depression because of family problems, 12.7% because of relationship problems, and 32.7% because of financial difficulties. Second, mental stress has become a pervasive problem across countries, culture, and ethnic groups. Third, most university students are unaware and don't realize they have depression or any symptom of depression that can affect their motivation, concentration, and social interaction, as they are the crucial factor for the student themselves to success in a higher education. Other than that, they usually have a hard time figure out what they are suffering from, and oftentimes they may be feeling down and simply hide in a way that makes it more challenging to seek support or help. Besides that, the problem is university students frequently need to deal with stressful situations like workload deadlines for their assignment and projects. So usually, lecturers have an important role to assist their students in managing such situations so they can maintain to stable their student mental stress. And last but not least, the frequency of mental stress among Malaysian university students happen due to various factors. At this moment, it is considered that mental stress issues are very crucial because student mental health can lead to depression.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Shafiq bin Jamizan, and I will share about the introduction. The goal of the research is to investigate the mental stress experienced by students attending University in Selangor, Malaysia. The study was carried out with the use of research instrument in the form of an online questionnaire. The questionnaire will be delivered to the respondent at UiTM Puncak Perdana, which is located in Selangor. The research is also decided by a number of questions, including mental stress curves, symptom of mental stress, stress level, and how do you manage your own stress. Next is about background study. The purpose of the research and investigation that we carry out was to identify the primary source of the mental stress problem that are encountered by students attending university in the state of Selangor in Malaysia. This is because that the issue of mental stress that a student face has become more widespread through time. So, this research will assist all relevant parties to have a better understanding of the two variables that contribute to the mental stress problem in order to solve this problem. Next, we go to objective of study. Firstly, to obtain more of information on the primary cause of this mental stress issue among students nowadays. Secondly, to learn more about how students manage their mental stress problem and to comprehend their need and desire. And thirdly is to know the sign of mental stress which students frequently experience. Next is research question. Firstly, what factor contribute to the mental stress faced by students? Secondly, what symptoms of mental stress are frequently encountered by students? Thirdly, what level of stress are students? And lastly, how students manage their mental health stress problem.
Assalamualaikum and good day. My name is Nurul Fatin Syazwani binti Tusman and I will explain about the conceptual framework of the study. There are 4 independent variables and 1 dependent variable, which is mental stress among Malaysian university students. The first out of 4 independent variable is factor of mental stress. Mental stress factor can be many and include financial, relationship between family or a couple, and personal problem. Negative family relationship can cause stress that given an impact to mental stress and even cause physical symptoms. Sometimes people rather not to say or keep their stress to themselves, which make it difficult for others to understand what they are going through. Therefore, this study helps to identify what is the highest cause of stress among students. Second is symptoms of mental stress that happen among the university student. University students commonly experience stress as a result of lack of energy or motivations, depressions, being easily irritable and angry, feeling hopeless or worthless, mood changes, suicidal thoughts, and a preference to remain silent. Most first-year students find the transition to college is stressful. This is one of the symptoms mentioned in the study to identify the level to which the above said symptoms impact student stress. Third one is the level of stress. Being aware when we are expressing stress or recognizing when it is affecting someone around us is important, as it is the first step towards feeling better. In fact, allowing stress to go untreated has its dangers. By knowing stress level and what triggers certain emotion, can create a plan to help reduce stresses or learn how to manage them more effectively. Stress level can usually be accessed through the way of life of a student or more to the factors that bring this stress. Last but not least is stress management. Effective stress management assists in breaking the grip that stress has on our life, allowing us to be happier, healthier, and more productive, especially for students in university life. That is why we make this study to determine what kind of way of controlling stress works best for us as a student. Next, we will go through the hypothesis of the study. Hypothesis probably presenting the relationship between two variables, which is independent and dependent variables. The hypothesis can be accepted or rejected by analyzing the result of the research, as the hypothesis is just a prediction or expectation that will be tested through a research. We are predicting the relationship between variables in this hypothesis. In this study, we had stated 4 hypotheses, which is the first one, factors of mental stress has a positive relationship towards Malaysian university students. Second, symptoms of mental stress has a positive impact towards Malaysian university students. Third, level of stress has a positive impact in prevent mental stress among Malaysian university students. And last one is stress management has a positive impact towards Malaysian university students.
Next, we go to methodology. The research survey we use is the form of an online questionnaire was given to students attending university in Selangor, Malaysia. Furthermore, various aspects have been taken to identify that cause mental stress to continue hit students. Therefore, we have prepared a variety of questions along with a simple technique for them to respond in order to ensure that they are simple to comprehend. Firstly is population. The target population is Selangor University students. According to the conducted analysis, the total number of students in Selangor is 39,356 students. Selangor is one of the regions having the highest concentration of university students, so the probability of facing a stress problem is high, and it's likely that there are many factors that cause stress to occur. Next is sampling. The type of sampling we use is a random sampling that focuses on university students in Selangor. Therefore, we restrict the participants in the study to the first 150 participants who responded to the random survey we set out to investigate the mental stress experienced by students attending university in Selangor, Malaysia. Thirdly is research instrument. The research instrument method that we use is quantitative approach method that is using survey question. This method also serves as the most suitable and useful data collection device in our research. In addition, for our convenience, we have used the online form and distributed it to students in Selangor to conduct the survey. Lastly is data collection. Data collection refers to the organized and planned process of gathering and arranging the information that has been obtained. This study also used the process of collecting and evaluating data in a quantitative form, which is to use statistical technique to analyze the information they have collected. This is because every research result need to be put through. When all necessary information that has been collected correctly, it is submitted for processing by the SPSS program and enter a report.
Hi, my name is Natasha binti Azhar. Now I will continue about the data analysis. For the first is descriptive statistic. The table shown about the variable data demographic, which is have 10 questions. The number of respondents is 150. There have mean, median and mode, which is the highest is age and gender. For the mean in age is 2.22467, while for the gender is 1.6467. Next is descriptive statistic for variable mental stress factors and had 7 questions for 150 respondents. The highest for the descriptive statistic is distress because of family problem, which is the mean is 2.5667, and for the distress because of relationship problem, the mean is 1.7467. For the next descriptive statistic variable, symptom of mental stress, that had 7 questions also. The highest for the descriptive is I lack energy or motivation, is the mean is 2.8000, and for me that I am depressed, the mean is 2.1400. Other as for the descriptive statistic for the variable stress level also have 7 questions for the respondent to answer it. The highest in this descriptive statistic is I found it hard to wind down, which is the mean is 2.4267, and I tended to overreact to situation, while the mean is 2.1667. Last, for the data that descriptive statistic for the variable stress management had a 5 question for the respondent. The highest in this descriptive is I tell my friend about my problem, which is the mean is 2.2467. Now let's move to the frequency part. In this table shown you about the frequency of age and gender. This table is the highest we get from the 150 respondent among students, which is the age around 18 years old until 27 years old and above is the main of demographic data. As you can see, in 150 respondents, there are 65 respondents from 21 until 23 years old, which is the highest is 43.3%, while for the gender, the highest from the female, which is 97 respondent and get the 64.7%, while for the cumulative is 100%. Next, we move to inferential statistic for the reliability test. The cases processing summary table showed that it has 150 valid cases and 0 excluded for full total of 150. There is missing value for any of the items. And for the crunch batch alpha value is 0.813. Next, on the item statistic table, the number of mean and the standard deviation is reasonably close. The mean for reliability test for the 7 items is 17.1600. The variance is 36.068 and the standard deviation is 6.00898. The next part is significant difference. For the table in one sample statistic, for the mean value is 2.2467%. For the test value is 4 questions. And for the standard deviation is 0.93361%.
Next, we perform the test correlation of our variable using correlation on the SPSS. As you can see on the screen right now, this table shows exactly all of the relationship between all variables that we use in our research, which are age, gender, distress because of family problems, and workload deadlines. In the first relationship between age and gender, the p-value is 0.069. Second relationship between age and distress because of family problems is 0.573. And the third one is age with workload deadlines is 0.309. So all of the 4 variables shows that there's no relationship between age, gender, distress because of family problems, and workload deadlines. Moving on, this table shows a non-parametric correlation, so it's not same as the previous one because there is significant difference between age and gender, which means there is a relationship between these 2 variables. As you can see, these are non-parametric correlation for the relationship between all variables that we use. The first relationship between age and gender, the p-value is 0.024, which is above 0.05. Second relationship between age and distress because of family problems is 0.348. And the third one is age with workload deadlines is 0.2249. That's all from me.
My name is Siti Nadia binti Muhammad Shukri and I will continue with the conclusion and recommendation. After collecting all samples data from respondents and conducting a thorough analysis of the research, we conclude that The workload deadline is the factor of the highest mental stress among university students. We discovered that students who focus on finishing assignments by the due date often develop stress disorder. Some students choose to stay up late at night to complete assignments and they rarely get enough sleep as a result of that. It has the potential to lead to stress. Secondly, the symptom of mental stress in university students based on the sample data we collected. Students typically lack of motivation and energy. Unrealistic expectation may be the cause of the lack of motivation. Lack of motivation to study can have a significant impact on students' grade. They will become unable to maximize their potential and will be forced to accept jobs that are below their abilities. It can influence the students' mental health and cause stress. Next, the level of stress among university students is quite worrisome. The survey data shows that students always felt that they were spending a lot of nervous energy. Some students lack confidence and develop low self-esteem in themselves and have always been regularly stressed, nervous, especially when giving a presentation in front of a public or attempting an exam. Stress can be caused by spending a lot of nervous energy. And lastly, in terms of stress management, the survey showed that many university students do not share their problems with those closest to them, such as their families. Most students prefer to confide in their friends rather than family, a counselor, a doctor, or a helpline service. This causes a lot of stress among students because they would rather keep it themselves. For recommendation, we recommend that the future researchers include the Student's Guide to Managing Mental Stress in the next survey. This is because we only look at the factors, symptoms, stress level, and stress management in this survey data. If researchers focus on how to prevent mental stress, it may be possible to reduce stress disorder among students. This study is important because while stress level among university students are on the rise, there are numerous ways to combat it. They require helpful tips for dealing with stress at university. That's all from us. Thank you.